Hello, everyone. Welcome to your City Commission study session this evening. Please turn off or silence all cell phones during the meeting. Meetings are televised every day on Channel 2 at 6 p.m. and midnight, and you can always see them on YouTube. How's everybody tonight? Everybody good?
Great.
Okay,
Great.
good. All right,
Couldn't
well,
be better.
let's start our study session by inviting Dr. Adams from Leavenworth Unified School District 453 to come on up. You want to bring your special guest or no?
It's probably best he stays back there.
Okay. You can sit on the mayor's lap.
There you go.
Okay. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Feels like you were just here though.
It
Did
was
it time go
maybe
that fast? Or?
2 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, either way, thank you for having me. Is the mic on?
Yep.
Okay.
You're all good.
I want to apologize in advance. I only got the slide deck to Sarah about an hour ago, but she is the most efficient.
She
so
is. She's the best.
credit to her. I'm here to talk to you tonight about probably the topic that you've heard about ad nauseum at this point, which is our enrollment. I think it's relatable to several of the discussions you're having here in this chamber as it relates to the city's economic development goals, initiatives, and so forth, as I believe that directly impacts some of the things that we have going on here. So I'm going to look to our city manager because I know he knows it. How big is the district, Scott?
16 square miles.
There you
sir.
go. We got the state's fourth smallest school district.
Yes, he knows all that.
I did give you a paper copy, so just a review first of our strategic plan. This is our guidepost, it is our guiding light. And really what I would say is this topic impacts specifically at least one, it's the finance and operations, but arguably all five. Because it has a direct impact on our staffing levels and certainly our ability to deliver for families, the community, and so forth. So to cut to the brass tacks, our district's enrollment for the first time in the history of USD 453 is below 3,000 FTE. We have never been below that high water mark of about 4,000 2 decades ago. We have never been below that 3,000 mark. As far as head count is concerned, we're about 3,100 and change. What's interesting is the district itself, obviously, as you know, has not grown. So geographically, it is the same. But what's happened is the city of Leavenworth, which is generally speaking the same area of the district, has actually held steady, if not slightly increased in its population since the turn of the century. So even though the enrollment is going down, we're not seeing that same trend as far as the overall head count in the city of Leavenworth. I guess probably a specific nuance to draw your attention to, and it's really, I would say, critical to point out for this district especially, is your 9th through 12th grade. You'll see those numbers are significantly higher. That is by design. We are the one school district in the state of Kansas that by default is a feeder, if you will, or a connector to another district. So USD 207, Fort Leavenworth, is the only one without a comprehensive high school. There is a statute that says this is their home high school for those 10th through 12th graders. So if you're looking to compare apples to apples, I would take you to the 8th grade class and then really to the kindergarten or 1st grade class. And that's where you start to see those larger classes at the tail end and smaller classes coming in. And so anytime a district has its exiting classes bigger than its entering classes, it is by default going through declining enrollment. Mr. Hingley, I put the pictures on there just for you. But here's a look at the 20-year history of all the Leavenworth County school districts. You'll see the blue line is USD 453. The yellow there below is Pleasant Ridge, and then you'll see some of our districts directly to the south with Baser, Lansing, so forth. So probably the biggest takeaway, again, as you'll see, is that kind of slow decline that's happened. I think, again, our high water mark, if I'm not mistaken, was the 2008-2009 school year.
It's interesting because ours is kind of slow, but Lansing goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and then is that Baser that's slowly going up?
Yep, Baser should be in the green.
Pleasant Ridge stays exactly
Yep.
the same.
Pleasant Ridge, I would refer to as Steady Eddie in
Yeah.
the terms of their enrollment.
Yeah.
That's a good graph, thank you.
You're welcome. So if you then look at the last 5 years, and this is again by attendance center, and the caveat here is that if you look at, again, apples to apples, we did a bond issue in 2018 that I believe was effectively completed around 2020. Prior to that time, your elementaries were K through 5. And you did not have the intermediate center. You certainly had Lawson, but it wasn't the early learning center. So that's why we kind of cut this off with the 21-22 school year, because otherwise it would not be a true apples to apples, right? So you, again, are running 3 elementaries. They're kind of in the corners of the district. And as you can see, Henry Leavenworth, for example, has gone from 328 to 255, while at the same time, David Brewer has held fairly steady at 339 to 311. Probably the biggest change that I would draw your attention to is Leavenworth High School. Even though it's still maintaining at its 5A status, it is down 40 students. So a net loss, if you'll see, of over 500 in that 5-year period, 142 from year to year. I'm still pretty happy, I would say, about where our class sizes are. But as you can imagine, as we decline in enrollment, we have to right-size that staff, and that becomes difficult to maintain those perfect ratios. So you'll see by building that while Anthony may look really good at that lower level, and certainly we target lower class sizes for our primary, it does push north of 23 there at the 4th grade level. And then you'll see across the board, really, it's very consistent at David Brewer. Henry Leavenworth, again, has a good class size at 2nd grade, but then peaks in its 4th grade level at 24. So this is important because it does impact, in my opinion, the educational service that's given. As you can, Holly, you can attest to here recently, but all of you that have had children, it impacts your child's experience when they are one of 17 peers versus if they're one of 24 or 25 peers.
Right.
So one of the things that I've really tried to highlight is the in and out, if you will, within the district. And so what this looks at first is what is known as non-resident students. A definition for you real fast is any student that does not live within the district's boundaries. So an individual could live in the city of Leavenworth, but south of Muncie Road, and they may be a non-resident student, for example. Same thing if you're north of Metropolitan, you get the idea. You'll see here that non-resident student number has actually been declining, and that certainly should grab your attention. There is an important caveat, though. 2 years ago, when we entered into the new law, we grandfathered all of those current non-resident students.
So that's why the number dropped.
Yep, so there is a 233 number that's operating in the background. What we didn't want was families that had been here consistently for a number of years to have to continue to go through that non-resident application process. So for what it is worth, non-resident status has actually been to our benefit. So if you take those two numbers, we're actually around 300 non-resident students when you consider the non-grandfather. Probably the biggest one that I would say impacts this district specifically and some of our other peer districts with similar demographics is the total level of student transiency. And I'm looking at Sarah because her husband leads our teaching and learning department. He knows this probably better than anybody else, that as you have students coming in and out of your district on a consistent basis, it makes that much more difficult to develop that district culture. It impacts things like the classroom that may look different in May than it did in August when it first began, right? Those peer connections and so forth. And so in round numbers, it is over 500 students. That is, for context, the equivalent almost of a 3A school district. So think Pleasant Ridge moving in and out every single year of our 5A district.
Yeah.
And again, this is not just a one-year anomaly. I would say if we look back over the history of time, it is right around that 500 student mark consistently year after year. And just, again, I think a byproduct of several things related to this community specifically and some of the demographics and challenges that come with that. So finally, to the bottom line, and this is where it really starts to, I would say, take effect for us starting next year, but it's already a conversation that we're having as early as November. In Kansas, the school finance formula is built upon student enrollment. Said simply, more students equal more dollars, less students equal less dollars. For us, this equals a loss of revenue of around 1.1 million. That then will be combined with the increased expenses that will likely come with just natural cost of living, inflation, and so forth. And so unfortunately, it will require, once again, for us to have some really robust conversations about our budget. And unfortunately, again, some right sizing of staff, reduction of potential FTE, reduction of potential services, so forth. So for what it is worth, I do have a good reason to believe we will not have a reduction in force. So no one will be forced to resign, asked to resign. Some people may have to have unfortunate conversations where they're asked to transfer to another position. But I'm here to tell you that we will not see that reduction in force. The pink slip process will not be a part of this. However, the caveat is it may require some really difficult conversations about things like pupil-teacher ratios and whether or not we can continue to offer every class every year. We may have to have some of those difficult conversations, especially at the secondary level, where certain classes aren't able to be offered every semester. That starts to have an impact on your students and on our community. So,
What about like advanced placement classes and things like that? Will those have to go away? Will they?
I would not say they're going to go away, but again, those would be, again, another example where we may not be able to offer those every single semester, every single year. You start looking at how do we rotate so that we can use our staff more efficiently. I refer to those, Holly, as half-empty airplanes. When you start running class sizes of only 6, 8, 10, is that an efficient use of that staff FTE? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so you start looking at how do I rotate these classes? That way, as a student comes in, they don't miss the opportunity, but we're going to need to be more strategic and more patient about when that class can be offered. That's how it's adjusted at the secondary level. I know I went really fast, but I want to honor your time. What questions can I answer?
No, I'm just glad to hear that. I just feel like one thing that sets Leavenworth aside is the advanced placement classes that we do have. And so when you're applying for colleges, we have other great things, but it as many of those classes as they can take to be competitive with the other schools makes a huge difference.
It does. It gets to, I would say, the quandary that we're facing, right? So how do I essentially meet this budget reduction while at the same time not reducing some of the great things that separate us from some of the other schools?
Right.
Because in some instances, some of these great things are not the most efficient as far as tax dollars are concerned, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they are things that are offered here that maybe aren't offered at a nearby high school.
Right.
How many students are homeschooled?
I don't have that number. I apologize. I don't have that
I just,
prepared
and
for you.
is that increasing, or do you see that increasing?
Yep, I'll kind of paint this with a broad brush, but we are seeing an increase both at the state level as well as here locally. I apologize, I don't have that number for you exactly, but you are seeing some students that are deciding not to be educated within the K-12 public side, and
Yeah.
they're either going to the parochial side or to the homeschool.
I
was
saw your
curious.
virtual school increase though. Are you thinking about expanding that to high school?
So I would say that one of the conversations that we need to have, and this begins probably at the administrative level and or board level, is what options are we not currently entertaining that may create an attraction to the district? And on that list is whether or not we would expand or consider expanding our virtual credit programming. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And that's on a list of other things.
Just
So-
like your ROTC or JRTC program is phenomenal. People
Yep.
come there for that. You would want to come there for other things.
Back to the homeschool thing, do we provide materials and that for our homeschool? I know they can log on to a state website or I know they log on to websites. I teach art classes, and mostly it's kids from Fort Leavenworth that are just here for a year, and they just homeschool them
Sure.
while they're here.
I could speak about what is statutorily allowed. You can have homeschool students that want to take your first hour band, for example.
Okay,
There's also now a provision where homeschool students can participate on our football team.
but you can't, do you count them as students then?
Yep, so if they're taking your first hour band, you're going to have a prorated FTE.
Oh, I got
right?
it. Okay, I was curious about
Yep.
that.
And then for us, as well as I assume pretty much every other high school, they turned in the homeschool account that was in addition to your in-person head count. So there may be 1,250 kids attending each day at Leavenworth High School, but then we may have another 10 that are homeschooled that are joining our various programs. Our enrollment would be 1,260.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
How do you account for your special education budget? Because I know that's a big chunk. Like,
It is.
for example, you pay to taxi my daughter from one school to the other every day. That's
Yep.
out of your pocket. How does that, I mean, it's got to cost money.
Yep. So in the state of Kansas, the law is that 92% of the excess cost is to be funded by the state. Unfortunately, that number is around 64 or 65 this year. When I say excess cost, it's important to unpack what is that, because I'm going to tell you that your daughter is a regular education student first, right? and then he or she is a student of a special education service second, right? It is that excess cost in your case for gifted services, right? In other students' cases, it may be for a specialized service at another site, right? Whether that's transportation, staffing, et cetera. 92% of that is supposed to be borne per the legislative statute that's set. Unfortunately, it is only at that 64, 65 mark, meaning the difference is made up by the district. In round numbers, that is about a $3 million demand transfer right now from our general operations fund. And it is unfortunately not a service that we can cut. So these are required services. So
How do you afford it?
What's that?
How do you afford that?
Right now, that underfunding of special ed is taking away from the general operations of the district. Said differently, it's taking away from the other students
Right.
and the needs of the other 3,000 plus. Excellent question.
I don't have any others.
Ed, do you have anything?
No. Thank you, though.
Thank you. This was great. This is
Yeah. Great having the information.
good stuff. Appreciate it.
It's always good to see you guys. Thanks again for
Absolutely.
having me.
Thank you,
Have a-
Dr.
Thank you for
Adams.
the
Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Take care.
All right, next up, Leavenworth Public Library. How are you?
I'm good. Does it matter which?
You can pick.
I think they're both mic'd, aren't they?
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to see everybody. Thank you for meeting with me tonight. I assume that everybody got a chance to read my report, so I won't do the traditional rehashing of the information you've already taken a look at. The library continues to pursue goals that are fit needs expressed by the community during the strategic planning process. The report in your packet details specific services, programs, and activities that have been implemented since we last spoke in February, as well as summary data on library use from the beginning of the year to the end of last month. I would like to point out a few key areas. Attendance at our all-ages events is a notable success. That's one of the things that we learned, that grew out of our strategic plan, is that events that incorporate activities for all ages was something that the community really appreciated. Over 800 people have enjoyed the 5 events that we've held so far this year, and that will grow to well over 1,000 after our Booker Treat on 10/31. We have a Wicked Party scheduled on 11/15, and Saturday with Santa on the 13th of December. I know from personal experience, we usually get about 200 kids just to that single event. The library has made a great effort to participate in community events. Again, the community engagement focus area is something that we have taken seriously and engaged in. We've been to all kinds of events hosted by over a dozen different organizations, and there are highlighted lists there in your report of the places we've been. Communicating calendars of events and other useful library news has expanded very well. We put ads in the movie theater here in town. We do print, of course, and social media campaigns. They've all been very focused and effective. The number of people that get our newsletter is climbing. The number of people that open it is very impressive. Use of library collections continues to change. The borrowing of large print books, audiobooks on CD are both declining. It's clear that readers and listeners are migrating to digital as their preferred services. The library has added digital services and significantly expanded those collections for the last few years, and so we're well positioned to meet the pace and volume of this changing demand. When AWS crashed everything a couple days ago, the number one call we got was, what's going on with Hoopla? Nobody could get in to use their audiobooks and their ebooks, and that was just, the phone was ringing off the hook.
That was a big crash.
It was. It did weird things to different parts of our system, things that I can't explain. I didn't have any idea that so much of that was in Amazon's hands.
Right.
Sort of like an upside-down pyramid.
Well, and university stuff too. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah. We lost all kinds of weird things. And I was in the middle of a call to our tech company to figure out what was going on when their VoIP system died. So there was no solution. One saying that has always made sense to me when it comes to libraries is adapt, adopt, and improve. I share that motto with the Times when they ran an article about the new director back in March 2014. That still rings true, I think, today. I think librarians are very good at bringing new technology, adapting new media, trying new things to keep up with changing demand, changing demographics, changing ways that people express their use of a library. The number of people that use our meeting rooms is a great number. And if you come into the library on an average day, when I first started, there weren't many people that spent a lot of time in the library unless they were sitting down on one of our computers and then they would get up and leave. But I've noticed that throughout the building now, in our young adult department, in different areas of our adult department, there are people who are coming on a regular basis. They're tapping into our wireless connection. They're doing work. They're doing homework. They're doing projects. And it's really nice to see that because of again, we wanted to be a community hub. That was sort of the key role that we decided to focus on, and I think we've really done that. We've made people interested. We've brought them raised awareness about what we can do and how we do it. This kind of services we offer, digital faxing, has taken off like crazy. There's usually a line of 3 or 4 people waiting to download something or email us something for us to then send out digitally for them. Now, there will be 3 new faces at the table next time I report to the commission, I believe. On behalf of the board, staff, and patrons of the library, I want to thank the outgoing members and thank this whole body for the support of our services and interest in our activities. It's our sincere hope the working relationship between the commission and the library will continue to be successful and productive when the new members take office. It's the library was here a long time before any of us and will hopefully survive us by a good number of centuries if possible. But I think we all really work hard, and it's been great working with you to keep the ball rolling, to keep serving the community the best way we all know how.
I want to thank you for your community engagement. I don't think I've been at a big event in the community without seeing the library table there.
Great.
You do an excellent job with outreach and getting people, as well as your service. And your events, I mean, they're so creative and so well attended. I mean, just what you look in here, last weekend you had almost 300 people at your haunted library. I mean, that says a lot about
Yeah.
what you're doing for the community and serving. And so I just want to thank you for that. And then, a lot of people think we're all in cahoots with you for books and what we put out. And I think you do a great job of educating people what the library is and what it does and how we're together in it, but we're separate. So,
Sure.
So thank you for that. And for sometimes you get a lot of flack, and you shouldn't. And so I just want to say I appreciate you.
Okay, well, definitely. I will not take credit for all of the good things that are happening at the library. We have a really great team of people, very energetic, very better ideas. Programming is not my strength, so I'm really glad we have people who really know how to do that
Right.
very, very well.
And they do. The Wicked Party, that's a great idea.
On the LV Arts,
Yeah.
I taught at that, and we were busy the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't know how many actually attended, 217.
Now you
That's
know.
really
That's why
great.
you're busy.
Yes, that's why we were busy, yes.
And there are thousands of people who use our meeting rooms just for their own
Oh, yeah.
purposes.
Yeah.
I think that's a great resource.
It's a huge-
If you have a chance, we just got the addition painted. So if you come into the east door or just walk over path through the children's library to see the young adult department, 100% improvement. Another part of our plan that we're trying to achieve that the community talked about was improving the appearance of the facility. So we have a mural, our rock garden is this close to opening up. We got the paint job over in the addition. We're looking at other ways that we can sort of spruce up or enhance the appearance of the building, because I know when LV Arts was there for a summer reading and did all of the really nice, basically decorations and things like that. It makes people want to come.
Yeah.
Walking into a dark, plain, kind of dingy looking.
Yeah, I had fun
Yeah,
doing that.
doesn't
That was
work.
cool. That was cool.
So we're really working very, very hard to do what we can to make it an attractive place, and I think it's working.
It is. Good job.
The amount of outreach that you do is just growing and growing and growing. I'm wondering though, are you coordinating with other organizations, other facilities to do joint kind of events, activities, things like that?
Such
I'm just
as,
wondering if it's something that could grow more.
Well, LV Arts is an example of one.
well, we do
Yeah.
a lot of community events. Part of what we try to do is make sure we keep in our territory, in our turf, so to speak. So reaching out into organizations in Lansing and other libraries, I would sort of
Oh, no,
be
not
the
that.
outsider. But yes, we work with daycares. We've worked with the schools to come to different events. Not so much with the chamber. We have been able to host and had the kind of the breakfast there. But we've gone to chamber events. We are working, I know with a representative from Kansas Works was here and talked about how they are, some of their facilities. So we've already had conversations with the person in charge there. We don't have the kind of space to provide them office space and
Oh, yeah.
space for their employees, but we're looking at developing joint programs so that they can come in and do their programs on resume writing, do their programs on
Yeah,
job searching,
that's
do
really
their
important.
programs on interviews, to provide them a space for that.
Yeah, that's
So-
the kind of stuff I was talking about.
Yeah.
Good.
We've reached out and have worked with bringing in interns from a couple of partnership programs, kids who need job experience. We have had, I think, 3 now, and 2 interns from the University of St. Mary. So we're giving them real-life experience to go along with their education to, again, provide a service that we hadn't done before, give them an opportunity to learn. But we try really hard not just to give them busy work.
Yeah.
We try to give them meaningful
Make
things
it
instead
something
of.
that's gonna be worth it. for-
Right. Hey, shelf some books today, would you? That's not really going to help somebody who's getting their degree in marketing.
Yeah, right.
So
That's
we're,
good.
we're really engaged. I'm
are.
very happy to work for this library and work in this community. It's been a really great experience.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Great work.
Have a good evening. Yeah, I was at the movie theater the other day and,
Saw this.
oh, they played it over and over and over. So we got to see you a lot.
I think it's a minute, 45, so yeah.
Yeah.
You get to see our ad 3 times before you ease up.
Before we even get the previews.
All right. Hello.
Hi.
How are
Brian.
you?
Doing good.
All right, let's talk curb reimbursement policy.
Okay. To say, city staff has received several requests for financial assistance for replacing curbs in front of commercial properties. So we're just looking tonight for guidance on whether to move forward with a policy that would reimburse property owners for a portion of the replacement cost, similar to what we do with our sidewalk projects. There are funds budgeted for curb replacement, but right now we concentrate on replacing and repairing curbs associated with our pavement projects. We haven't been going around to, this house needs 50 feet, and this house needs 100 feet. We haven't been doing that, we've just been doing it with our street projects. So again, we're looking for direction from the commission if you guys are in favor of a policy that would help reimburse.
I was struggling with this when I was reading it. I understand the curb, and sidewalk, sharing in the residential area, but I just have kind of a bit of concern. I mean, if it needs to be replaced, it needs to be replaced. But, I mean, it's not just the person living there that runs over the curb. It's people, it's trucks that run into it, and it's snow plows in the winter, and it's other things that run into the curb,
Yeah.
so.
So you saying the city should just cover it all? That's our job? Or you
Well, that's kind of what I think. I mean,
Right. We've had about 100.
well, I don't know what you hear from the businesses, though.
We haven't had a lot of requests for it. Usually we get the request when someone's like doing the driveway. And,
Okay,
my curb's in bad shape, hey, can you guys fix that? Like, not at this point. It'd be nice to be able to help them.
yeah,
I've had some business owners that want to make improvements to the property. They're doing things to the business and, hey, that curb is in really bad shape.
I think
But-
yeah, they should, yeah.
But again, is that we haven't had the funds available to just do wholesale projects, and if this guy calls, he's a squeaky wheel, I'm gonna do him, or
Yeah,
that type of thing. So it just, they've asked, hey, number one, would you replace it? It's not on our list. Number two, hey, if I replace it, can I get some sort of partial reimbursement for that cost?
Do we have a list?
I think that,
Yeah,
if that's,
It's a voluntary, keep in mind, it's a voluntary program that's in supplement to, we will still replace, curb and gutter when we're doing our major street projects.
Of course.
And the curbs that we've identified that need to be replaced, we will still do that. This is just to provide an extension to that of, hey, I just want to do my yard, I'm willing to pay for half of it. That extends the funds that the city could provide for it. But we're not saying like, if you want your curb done, you have to pay for half of it necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, you could just wait.
Okay. I think, yeah, I'd like to hear from what the commercial businesses think about it, but it's a good idea, I think.
So like the one
And it will save us some money too, to
the,
be able to do more.
the curb over by Lavery's, that's not, they don't want a curb, they want a ADA compliant. So that's different, right? Than this,
Different funds.
Right.
different funds, okay.
And again, this, I've had, two came in probably in about a 2-week time frame. Two businesses came. And so that's why this came forward, is like, can you help us? Staff thinks it's a reasonable idea.
Okay.
Again, it's not just a wholesale, you have to pay for half or you have to pay for a third. It'd be the same process we go through with the sidewalks. We'd review it, they'd have to meet our standards, and have to get approval and buyout from the city.
Right.
And this would only be for existing curb and gutter replacement. It would not be for new curb and gutter that isn't already there.
Are you seeing more of a problem on corners than in the main part of the street?
It's all
Or
over.
does it matter?
It's all over. I mean, you have a curb that's just really old and failing.
Yeah,
Then we had a period of time where we used a softer limestone, and you talk about decracking, where it just blows apart.
yeah.
And then there's some areas where we've overlaid the street so many times that the curbs actually disappeared.
Disappeared,
It's
yes,
under there somewhere, you know.
yeah.
And on occasion, we do hit them with the plow.
Or just trucks hit them when they turn.
Trucks hit them when they turn, yeah.
Especially there in like Eisenhower and DeSoto by Frontier. Just every day, I see trucks. doing
Oh,
that.
yeah, I know where, yeah.
Oh, the trucks have just dug themselves
Yeah,
a big old trough.
Yeah.
On the,
We're actually working on that one
Sidewalks.
to actually widen that a little bit to
Are
make
you?
it so they don't rut it out so bad.
that's a good
Okay.
idea.
the only thing that I keep thinking of is, okay, where's the money coming from? Where's the money coming from?
We actually have money budgeted for curb. This past year, we rolled it into pavement management. And so that's why I put on one of the last bullet items. I don't really have a feel at this point how many people would be interested in it, so I'd like to limit it to 25,000. We can pull out of our curb funding. I think it'll be less than that.
Well, if they're paying part of it too, we're not paying for the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we'd be able to do more with less.
We're not committing, we're just looking into it, right?
Yeah, we
Right.
didn't want to go in an effort of creating a policy and
If
you
we
guys
weren't
weren't in favor of it, so.
Yeah,
No, I think it's worth looking into.
yeah, I'd like to see what some of the businesses think about it too.
Ed, any thoughts?
No,
You
I
good?
told you, mine,
Okay.
where's the money coming from?
All right.
Every time a citizen comes and tells me, we need to do this, this, and this, I say, sure,
Do you want your taxes to
give me the
go
money.
up? Don't say that,
No, they
though.
don't want the taxes raised, though.
But don't ever say that. I mean, we're just saying, what, you want your taxes to go up? It's almost like a threat to people. At least people have told me that.
All right, snow and ice control operation plan.
Somebody else
The
did.
picture in front of you, this is the picture on our policy for this year. I don't know if you remember last year, I put a picture of a nice beach.
Yeah,
That
That
didn't
didn't work
work.
very well,
So
so I'm
now-
hoping if I put this up there, we won't have that much snow.
That was a doozy last year.
yeah.
So if you look
Is this a
at,
picture from last year?
Feels like it.
could have been.
Could have been, yeah.
Cold,
So this
wet,
is the
very
new
cold.
Farmer's Almanac.
Tree branch is still on the tree.
Oh, very cold, snowy.
Right, this is the new Farmer's
Right in
Almanac,
the
this is
middle
the
of
winter
it.
outlook.
Wow.
This is the old Farmer's Almanac, mild and dry.
Oh, my goodness.
This is direct weather. I'm seeing this type of forecast a lot, where there's a more frequency of snow events.
Winter battle zone, at least we're not in that.
Yeah, that's not good, because that could be ice storms.
Yeah.
And that we're hearing a lot about that as projected in the future.
Yeah.
The last meeting that I actually showed this one, so this is actually a legitimate one. We are in the zone from 0 to 250 inches, I
Yeah,
think we're
yeah,
gonna cover.
never know.
So, each year since 1993, we've actually gone through the policy with the commission. We did have a meeting on October 14th with all local agencies, that's the county, Lansing, school district was there. We talked about the cooperation we're gonna do and shared access to equipment and materials during an event.
Good.
Then on the 16th, we invited our two contractors that we use, Lana Weaver and Lexico, for our residential areas for a meeting. Staff is just about finished prepping all of our equipment, and you'll start seeing our trucks driving down the street, hopefully when it's 70 degrees and with snowplows on, and getting these guys used to the routes again. No major changes in this policy. For the last several years, we've really increased our ability to brine our streets, and that's really helped us in removing packed snow. And also, a couple of years ago, we started plowing snow as soon as it started to accumulate. Prior to that, we had a policy that we won't push snow until there's at least 2 inches on the ground. And when you don't pre-treat and you don't plow until there's 2 inches, it gets packed down really hard. And when you come through Lansing or in a KDOT road, the roads are clear, you come into town and our roads are snowpacked. And so as soon as it starts to accumulate, we're pushing. So,
Can, any way you could do like a video like you've done in the past of like right before snow comes or winter comes and get that out there? Because I think a lot of people don't understand. Maybe we do some PR around that. So, so for example, if we hit over, we're moving snow and we hit a mailbox, what do you do? We replace those, yeah.
Yes, we do. We
Yeah.
replace it. They just call in, we'll put a new
Right.
post in and, you know.
Maybe just a little highlight of all this and put out there on Facebook, because I think this is all good stuff for people to know.
We could put together like a frequently asked questions.
Yeah.
That would
that's
be good.
That would be really good.
And we do have something we put every year on the website is, you know, one of the biggest complaints we get is, hey, I just plowed my driveway. You
And now
guys
you
came
shove
through
it
and
over.
buried
Kim
it.
plowed me
Oh, I,
in.
yes.
Yeah.
And so we do have a little, a blurb on how to limit that. Of where to clean the snow, kind of just downstream of your driveway a little bit, so when we're going through there, we don't bury it as much. But yeah, that's one of our biggest complaints.
In the downtown too, like when
It is so rare, you don't
clean their
ever
sidewalks
know.
off and then we come off with the snow plow and same
Right.
thing.
Sounds like my driveway.
Unfortunately, some of that's just unavoidable, but
I
Yeah.
know, I know, but.
part of it is, I think, it's more of an educating campaign on like, as soon as it snows, we're not gonna be out there writing tickets if your sidewalk's
Right.
not clear, right? We understand that our snow is going to go somewhere. I think there's some concern that if I don't shovel this right away, the city's gonna ticket me or something, and that's not, we don't enforce it that way, so.
Right.
Well, and I just, well, now I have a driveway, but when I used to live in an old house in town where I had to park on the street, before it snowed, I always made sure I moved my car to the back alley and left it there while it snowed, because I knew that wasn't gonna get plowed.
Well, and if you're in an
But then I
emergency snow
plowed
route,
myself out.
like I'm an emergency snow route, so I have got to
You
get my car
have
off.
to, yeah, you have to anyway.
And that's the other thing is that we can tow your car during
Right,
an emergency snow route,
yeah,
but we aren't
exactly.
just gonna go around towing cars. So we'll move it if it's in the way. For some reason, we have people who call and complain that their neighbor's car is on the street and want it towed during a snow route. We don't do
Yeah, I
that
got a lot of those
Yeah,
unless the car
that's
is in
true.
the way, we will not tow it, but.
Yeah, I think that would be good, like a frequently asked
Right.
questions or, because if there was a complaint or a question, we got it. I mean, we were shoveling snow. Remember when you had those machines and you were literally removing snow out of the city?
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping we have a nice year, not
Yeah.
a lot of snow, but we have to prepare for it. We have a lot of equipment that we use, and both Lexicon and Lana have been great about helping us out. And downtown, I mean, you gotta haul it away, because there's no
Right.
place to put it.
Nowhere
so.
to go.
Yeah.
So part of this, one of the projects you guys approved for the upcoming CIP is the new brine tank, so, which will significantly increase our operations.
Yeah,
ability there,
that
so.
seems to really help, doesn't it, having that brine out there?
Do you remember how many inches we did get that night?
I don't remember. We had a couple pretty close back to back, if
Yeah.
I remember right.
That was the
So,
I
problem.
think it was 12 to 14,
Was
somewhere
it?
in
It's
there.
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep, because there was more than one snow.
One of the things you have in here, I'm just wondering how it's done, talks about alleys won't be plowed or de-iced during snow and ice removal operations. Good. Unless verified emergency requirements so dictate that selected alleys be plowed or de-iced. And I'm thinking, okay, you're talking about, if somebody who's got something wrong with them and they frequently end up having to go to the hospital, how do you get out? But how are we gonna go out, or how are the people that think they have that emergency, how are they going to go get it verified? By who?
The PD will contact us.
I was going to say, would that be the PD or, okay. Good.
We work real closely with that. If there's an intersection that's slick, they're out there a lot of times when we're not. And so as soon as things start to get slick, they'll call us, make sure we pull our people in. But if there's an emergency, that they need something cleared ahead of something when we would normally do it, hey, we need to get to this property because there's someone, we'll go right there.
Yeah. Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, sir. I'm gonna keep this on hand.
Me too.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else for us, Scott?
I actually have a few things for you guys.
All right.
First, just a reminder, we are a little less than 2 weeks away from our business symposium, and Penny and team have been working very hard on that. November 3rd, 8:30. It's free. You get free lunch with registration, so hope to see other people down there.
Is there anything that's supposed to occur after that lunch?
There's stuff in the afternoon.
It's 8:30 to 12:30, and
Right.
there's something in the afternoon.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do you know where we're at with attendance, by chance?
I haven't checked since.
Sorry, it's at about 70 people.
Oh, that's great.
Good,
Yay,
excellent.
That's a good number.
We had, speaking of numbers, we had over 800 kids at trunk or treat, which is
I
also
was
good.
wondering about that.
According to the paper.
A beautiful day for it.
There's still 3 more days left on our community feedback survey for Camp Leavenworth, so we're, there's still time to fill that out if they want. And then the other thing, you probably have already heard by now, but just to update you all, the county commission decided not to proceed with looking into having the city take over their transfer station. So we will remove that as an option moving forward, and we'll
Yeah.
proceed with the consolidation station plan that we had originally discussed out at our property out at Gilman Road or whatever.
Kind of interesting. They came to us and asked us if we were interested, but then they denied it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the commission did not, the city, the county
city.
manager came to me and asked if that was something we'd be interested in, so.
Apparently, you didn't say anything to the commission about it before you came. Anyway, is what it is. Yeah, we just need to move on.
Sure. Yeah, so we'll, just letting you guys know, we'll proceed with that information, and that's it. So, that's all I had, unless you guys have questions for me.
Nancy, you got anything?
No, welcome back.
Thank you. Good time.
I'm walking now. That's a good thing.
Good.
Telling everybody that.
You ready to dance yet?
Yeah, I'm not crippled anymore.
Ed, do you have anything?
I'm waiting for the AAR.
Oh,
AARP?
No, the
after
AAR.
action report.
Yeah, of your trip to Down Under.
It was good.
Lots of pollen.
Yeah, so I hear, well, not the time of the year down there,
Yeah.
but it is up here.
Yep.
Springtime.
So,
Speaking of sister cities, we have,
Oh, yeah, I should mention that too.
Our
Omi
Japan,
Hachiman, yeah.
Omi Hachiman will be here on Saturday, and so we have fun things planned to them. So I would like to, obviously we have the dinner, but after the dinner, I would like to invite everyone to come to there's a football game. It's unfortunately not the Chiefs, but it's Pittsburgh Steelers and the Packers at the local sports bar, and we're gonna have like a nacho bar so they can watch some American football. So if you guys want to come afterwards, would love to have you.
If the big sign of Taylor Swift is still down there, they'll have their picture taken in front of it for sure.
Yeah, so,
Is that at 10 penny?
it's Tenpenny, yeah.
Tenpenny,
so
yeah.
come
it's actual
down.
football,
Yeah, they
We
want to
have
see
to watch
football,
that.
so I thought we could show them some,
They like.
how we
yeah.
tailgate, sort of.
yeah?
So, but lots of great things. Christy and Penny and Sister City have worked hard to put some great things together for them. So if you can join us at them at any point this weekend, please do, because after being at a sister city, we know how important it is to meet the people and ask questions and things like that. So other than that,
Do you want to say anything about our sister city and what your thoughts were for the,
well,
for the public?
gosh, I don't.
It's important for us
It
to
was
have a
great.
sister
So
city.
so what was interesting to me is they're a lot like Leavenworth, is they have not only an army base like we do, but they also have a Air Force base. So we got to tour both of them. I will report that they do have potholes in Australia. And they take them very seriously.
So it ain't just us.
No, it's not just us. But we got to see their industry and how they've got, working on a business park, and they're looking at expanding that. They have a transmodal, is I saying that right? Trans,
Transmodal.
Yeah, multimodal.
yeah, transmodal, which we don't have, but it was very interesting to see how.
Intermodal, there's the word. I was looking for.
Intermodal, yeah. And to see how their industry works, as well as they have, because they're a little more rural than the cities, they have stockyards. So they make money
Oh.
off every sheep and every cow that's sold. Their city makes money.
Yeah, the stockyards makes $1 million in profit a year for the city,
Yeah.
so
So,
Wow.
Yeah,
Did you eat a lot of lamb while you were there?
I did not.
I had some, it was
Oh my
good.
gosh, it's good.
Yeah.
It's best
As
I've
well
ever had.
as, so they don't have fire and police underneath them. That's a state.
No.
That's state, so that was totally off there.
Well,
They don't worry about, yeah.
if the
all
city
res-
manager down there takes off, you can't ask the police chief to take over.
That's right.
That's right, yeah.
Right. But we met the past deputy prime minister, he's from Wagga, and so that would be like us meeting Mike Pence. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot about what their federal and what their state and then what the city does.
Yeah.
Similar, but totally not the same.
Yeah, so their municipal boundaries are essentially our version of a county. So Waga's municipal boundary goes into whatever the next city is. Even if you live out in the country, you pay into the municipal boundary taxes. So they don't really have counties, so.
Yeah, it was interesting. What else can we add?
Everyone was really nice, very friendly. The thing that I think we could translate here really well is they took us to a festival that had all
yeah.
of the local international communities provide their version of food and cuisine, and you can go and pay for it. So we have tons of international cuisine here because of our relationship to the base. I think you could have a similar festival here that would be a big success, and it was well attended. A lot of people came to it, and there's really good food there. So.
Right. They have lots of parks. They have,
That's a good
they
idea.
actually have a zoo that they maintain. Can you imagine us having a zoo?
They have such cool animals though.
I know. But that's something that the mayor has to, and so their mayor is voted on upon their city council every 2 years they read?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So it's a lot of similarities, but a whole lot of differences.
But their
Yeah.
council is huge.
And they're interesting, they don't
There's
have.
9 people, yeah.
How many?
9.
9, okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking it was
Oh, wow.
more than that.
They don't have, homelessness is not an issue there.
Really?
Well, they have a lot of mental health facilities,
Yeah.
and so
Yep.
that kind of was interesting.
Were those city or state?
They were
Mostly state.
They're state, but each community has lots of clinics that they can attend and go to. So that was interesting. Of course, they have different type of healthcare than we do, but
Yeah.
It's a trade-off for, I'd say a lot of people, Americans would go to Australia and view it as more of a much stricter state, but you get what you pay for, and that there's higher standard of living, higher safety, all that. But some people might find it a little too intrusive. But
they have a river like we do right next to it that gets flooded quite a bit, and so they prepare themselves for flood. So they've got lots of ways to prevent, so when the flood comes, to prevent the flood. They've got not everything, but a lot of things they have, like with their electrical work, they can just pull it out and take it out and then put it back in after the flood goes back down. So
Well, that's cool.
they have smart planning.
yeah, I mean,
That's cool.
Penny, do you have anything to add?
I connected with their economic development director. They are trying to grow through attracting people to come to their city as well as industry. So we had some interesting conversations about telling your city's authentic story to draw people there. So learned a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a great exchange. We learned a ton. And they were very hospitable.
Do
very
they make use of the river that's right next to them?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
They actually have a beach, which we wouldn't, I don't know if we could have a beach at Missouri, but they do have a beach and they use
Well, it was
for
slower
recreation.
moving.
It's
When I
slower
was
moving.
there, at least.
Yeah, I was thinking,
Several
if
years ago,
it's,
it
if
was-
it's slower moving, it could be used.
It was slower
for-
moving, and I know they used it for barges and stuff.
it's their source of water.
Yeah.
It's their source of water. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that they also discharge sewage into it.
Right.
Because I don't know where else they would discharge, so.
They made a funny joke, they're like, oh, we didn't think you'd wanna go see our water treatment plant, our sewage, our wastewater, and we're like, oh, but we do. But they didn't have it. We saw a school, went to a school, very similar to ours.
What level?
It was K through 12. It was a
It's like a private
we
school.
went to a private school. They have a college, much like ours, like St. Mary's, but theirs was a little bit bigger. But it was still an economic driver. They only had 1,000 dorm room, 1,000 people could live on campus, but the campus was much larger than that. It's, so a lot of people attend, but they live in the community. As well as the Air Force Base and the Army Base, they don't have a lot of housing, so they live off base, so that's a big driver. And their downtown is quite large. They have big department stores, like what we would equate to like a Macy's.
Wow.
Lots of shopping.
What's
and
their population?
It's bigger. It's
70,000.
70,000.
Yeah, that's
Say where they're bigger.
almost twice as much.
And their mayor wears regalia, so we might need to.
And they're hot. They said,
They
Mayor,
wear this
when I was
big
there, told me
regalia
it
with
was
this big,
really hot.
big necklace, but
It's got all this fur down the front.
right, we were there for the 85th anniversary for their Air Force Base, and so they had a big parade, and we got to see the military march, and it was
The
neat.
Air Force marched?
They did.
They did.
You got John. You got a belly laugh out of John. That's funny you say that, because they had to put their arms out to make sure they were armed.
The dress right dress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. They did in the Army, and the Army band was there, and we toured the whole Army base, and it's a recruitment base, so every NCO goes through there. It's basic training.
If you can get the funding, the Army band guy might bring up the band for our Veterans Day Parade next year.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
good.
Yeah, 'cause they're required to go tour and like do things like that, and so
Wow.
I offered that to them.
That'd
Oh,
be
that'd be
good.
great.
Really
They're very good.
Are any of them 6'8" tall?
Yeah.
I didn't see a.
They're not gonna wanna come.
Yeah, I see a whole lot of tall people there.
But their armies, their hats were the flumes, the emu plume,
Yeah.
emu.
Yeah, like you used to
Feathers.
wear with the Knights
Oh,
of
no,
Columbus.
those were different.
Okay.
But I know yeah, it's the same sort of idea. You got a big
And then
fluffy.
I like those. I wish they wouldn't have got rid
They're
of those.
supposed
Well, you and about everybody else that's
they're
in the
supposed
Knights
to be
of Columbus.
flatter, like if it's really high, that means that you picked it from the back of the emus versus the front, where they're flatter. And that means if you get it from the back, you're not very good, like rider or whatever, because
Yeah,
you're supposed to get them from the
Can't
front.
chase them down real good.
Yeah, so the higher it is, the worse it is. So we learned that. So it was interesting. So, but yeah, that was it. Well, with that, we'll close out the meeting.
Okay,
I don't need to.
fine by me.
We're good.
Done.
No, we're done.
Who?
Get some more